Oh. Okay, so go on and explain the joke. All right. Oh, hello. All right, settle down, everyone. Settle down. Settle down. Settle down. Settle down. Why can I smell Monster Munch? Snacks away, please. Good. Right. So, I've got a joke to explain from Jean Below. Knock, knock. Who's there? Dishes. Dishes who? Dishes Sean Connery. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Right, first of all, we should break down, because I don't think we have, and if we have, it was a long time ago, what a knock knock joke is. So, knock knock is a sort of call and response form of joke. You know, there aren't that many. There aren't that many in the Great American Joke Book, as it were. But okay, but this is the form. Okay, knock knock. So that's the joker would say knock knock. And then the recipient of the joke, one or more, say, who's there? And then the joker would say, whatever, X. And then, X who? And then, XY. XY, you see. Now, conventionally, because there are sort of jokes that play around with the form itself of the knock knock joke, but this isn't one of those. The general flow of a joke is to take X here and give it a bit of a shift in meaning in the punchline. So to fill in our X here. X equals dishes. Dishes, yes. So here we go. Dishes. We'd write that in. And I should have thought this through. Right. Dishes who? And the punchline here is dishes. I don't know why I'm drawing it out, really. I don't think it. I don't know if it illuminates Sean Connery. Terrible. Right. I mean, my handwriting, not the joke. The joke's solid. Dishes. What? Jack. Mr. Little, I hear you say. What? I don't understand. Dishes Sean Connery? It's gibberish. It's gibberish. It doesn't mean anything. Ah, it does. You just need a little bit more cultural knowledge of the late great Glaswegian actor of television, stage, and screen. I nearly said stage and theatre, but those are both theatre, aren't they? Stage and screen, Sean Connery. Sean Connery, perhaps best remembered for the second person to portray James Bond on film. Yes. Oh, second, Jack. Are you sure? Second? Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I can back that up. The second person to play James Bond on film in the motion picture Doctor No, of course, which kick-started the whole James Bond franchise in cinematic franchise. That's probably going to be a cinematic universe soon, isn't it? That's the way all of this stuff's going. Cinematic universes. Can't move for a cinematic universe. Cannot move for a cinematic universe. After Hours, cinematic universe. Yeah. It's all happening. I'm trying to think of other films that you wouldn't want a cinematic universe of that aren't offensive. It's tricky. I'm calling your bluff. What bluff? I did not bluff. What? Which bluff are you calling, Orange Spark? We could get down to this. Sean was the first one to play James. I don't think that's right. Should we get a poll? Right? Let's decide this through democracy. Is Orange Spark right to say that Sean Connery was the first person to play James Bond in film? Or am I right in saying that he was the second person to play James Bond in film? That's all we're asking. We'll can make it a quick one. We'll make it a quickie. Bum. Yes, good. Okay. I'm not just quickly googling the right answer. David Niven, how to go in Casino Royale? Yes, Casino Royale, of course, was after Dr. No. What is interesting about Casino Royale to me is in Dr. No 1962 is that David Niven sort of talks about how the name James Bond is sort of handed out to agents as a sort of a badge of honour, and that actually there'd been several James Bonds. All of this makes perfect sense to us now, looking back, because we've had all of the Bonds, haven't we? But at that point, the only real sort of major actor to play him was Sean Connery, but not the first person to portray him on film, of course. So actually, that whole the idea that sort of keys into Roger Moore and Timothy Dalton and Pierce Brosnan and Craig David and all of those guys. So I'm just amusing myself at the thought of Craig David playing James Bond. So 67, exactly. Yeah, so that antedates Connery, but predates Moore. So I've always found that quite interesting, because you sort of take it as, or I did see when I first saw it, that was an arch reference to chopping and changing the actor what plays him. And it doesn't seem to be the case, certainly not cinematically. Other people have played him on TV and the radio. What's his name? Blockbusters chap. Bob. Not Carol G's. Not Holness. Yes, Holness. Bob Holness. Bob Holness? Bob Holness. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. He played him on the wireless. There was an American chap who played him on television. But, yeah, thank you, Roger. There was an American that played him as an American character. And the jury's out as to whether he counts, because he played, I think, a CIA agent called Jimmy Bond. Don't quote me. Okay, so second one with 80%. Oh, well, yes. So, basically, cast your mind back, Orange Park, to Dr. No. Okay, Dr. No is the first James Bond film, also the first James Bond film to introduce the gun sight sequence from the start of the film. Yes, so what would happen in a James Bond film is you'd get this sort of white dot open up on a black background, and sometimes there's like rifling around the white dot, and it would track a lone figure in a suit and a hat. And suddenly, this chap would turn and shoot, and then there's all like red blood would drip down the screen, and the white dot would move down. And I can't quite remember if this happens in Dr. No or not, but it would then open out into a scene. Everything I thought I knew has crumbled. Yeah. So when they went to make that, you know, they'd already done the filming and like Sean Connery playing James Bond, la-di-da-di-da. But they needed to get this shot done. And the guy shooting it saying, well, at the distance that we're shooting him, we don't really need Sean for this. We'll just use his body double, stroke stuntman, Bob Simmons. So they got Bob Simmons in to play the chap who does that gunshot sequence. It's not Sean, it's Bob. So technically speaking, the first person to play him cinematically is not Sean Connery, but Bob Simmons for 25 seconds. If that. Oh. Anyway, the other thing about Sean Connery is he sort of had quite a soft sort of sibilance. I wouldn't say it as far as being a speech impediment, but certainly there was a softness that would turn his S's into S's, you see. So here, dishes goes from being, a collection of dishes. Could be that a collection of meals, or it could be a collection of, anything really. That's, a collection of crockery. Not anything, it wouldn't be like sheep or something. A collection of crockery. Dishes, you see. But as soon as you put dishes into the mouth of Sean Connery, Jack, you could almost enter British politics with this amount of cherry picking. Where was I? Oh yes, if you put dishes into the mouth of Sean Connery, it becomes not dishes at all, but Sean Connery saying, "This is." So suddenly it becomes, "This is Sean Connery." You see, not "This is Sean Connery," and that transfers the transformation of the word dishes to be like a collection of crockery to "This is," as spoken by Sean Connery, and that's the sort of surprise and reveal is what makes the joke funny. So, Jean Bello, have I answered that joke to your satisfaction? And if so, we'll see if we can't deliver that moon. Excellent joke answering. Thank you, Jean. We went on a little bit of a Simmons divergence there, and I'm glad we did, because that's one of my favourite facts. So, joke explained.